Hey, I'm Jake. Today we're going to focus in on quad stretching, which is really important to help release your low back. Here we go. Buckle up. Start in tabletop, hands and knees, wrists straight across your mat, wrists under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And inhale, arch your back, look forward. Exhale, round your spine, look towards your navel. Once more like that. Inhale, arch your back, and exhale, round. Okay, this inhale, find a neutral spine and pelvis. Tuck your toes under if they aren't already. Step back for down dog. Okay, down dog. And wiggle your feet back another 2 to 3 inches from tabletop. Feet inner hips width apart. It's about 2 to 3 inches apart. Bend your knees enough to feel your thighs plug up into their hip sockets. Tip your pelvis up. Create a lordotic curve in your back. So far as you can keep that, and stretch your legs out. Okay, inhale, come to the balls of your feet. Exhale, bend your knees, step, walk, or hop to the front of your mat. Feet straight, lift halfway up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, arms overhead, come all the way up to stand. And exhale, arms in at your side. Deep breath, reach your arms up. Exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Onto your fingertips, weight in your right foot, step your left foot way back for lunge. Bend your front knee right over your ankle, back foot's vertical. Hop up onto your left fingertips and inhale, twist. Reach your right arm up. Keep your right heel heavy to get a hip opener in the twist. Look up. And exhale, right hand down, step forward. Switch sides, left foot forward, right foot way back for lunge. Okay, bend your left knee over your ankle, back foot's vertical. Twist open, reach your left arm up. And keep that left heel heavy. Keep your back leg strong as you twist. Okay, hands to the floor, step back for plank. Legs straight for low plank. Hips to the floor for cobra. Point your feet, slide forward to come up. Exhale, down dog, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Inhale, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand for low lunge. Okay, point your right knee the same direction as your foot. And reach your right hand back for your left foot. Quad stretch, number 1. All right, so you could hold either side of your foot. Lengthen both sides of your body long. Plug your right shoulder back. Draw your heel to your hip. Flick your toes back and tip your hip up towards your heel. Sit through a magnetic. And eventually they touch. And so much as they stay touching, you come onto your left forearm for a deeper thigh stretch. Okay, inhale. Be mindful it's spring loaded. Gently release. Step back. Down dog. Okay, switch sides. Inhale, left foot to the outside of your left hand for low lunge. Lower your back knee gently and angle your left foot at a diagonal left. Make sure your knee points the same direction as your foot. And reach back, left hand for your right foot. Really hold either side of your foot, okay, just so long as you plug the left head of your arm bone back into its shoulder socket. Draw your heel to your hip. Engage your right foot, tip your hip up. It's really plugging your right femur bone up into its hip socket. And you can come onto your right forearm as your quad starts to open. Just keep the weight centered on your back thigh. Okay, gently release, step back for down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower down for low plank. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, down dog. Inhale, step your right foot between your hands, warrior 2. Anchor your left heel. Come on up. For side angle, right forearm to your right thigh, left arm by your ear. Turn your chest towards the ceiling. And today, touch to the inside of your right foot. To the floor or a block, just so long as you can keep your chest lifted, hips square towards the wall to your left. Okay, hands to the mat. Step back. And switch sides, left foot forward. Warrior two. And side angle, left forearm to your left thigh. Right arm by your ear. Get a big side stretch to the right side of your body. So much as your chest stays open, you could reach down for the full pose. Left hand to the inside of your left foot. And look up if it doesn't hurt your neck. Hands to the floor, step back. Down dog. Inhale, plank. Keep that plank shape, lower down all the way to your mat. Hop up onto your forearms, elbows under your shoulders. And you're gonna angle your right forearm across at a diagonal. Reach your left hand back for the left outer edge of your foot. Square your chest and your hips towards the floor. Draw your heel to your hip, flick your toes against your hand. Okay, there is a grip. If you're steady there, you hold the big toe side of your foot and wrap your thumb and index finger around the back of your left foot like a hook. It's called Virasana, a little more squirrely. Okay, draw your knees towards one another. Gently release. Second side, left forearm across at a diagonal to the right. Reach your right hand back for your right foot. First step is hold the outer edge of the foot. Draw the heel in, engage your back foot. Okay, step two, hold the big toe side of your foot and hook your thumb and index finger around the back of your right foot for Virasana. That right knee is going to want to swing to the right, draw it in. Okay, weight centered on the face of your right thigh. Flick your toes against your hand, heel to your hip. Okay, gently release. Place your hands, tuck your toes, kneecaps lift, shoulders lift. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dog. Inhale, step your right foot between your hands, spin both feet towards the wide edge of your mat. Take a wide stance, feet even and straight, bow down the middle. Touch the floor in front of you. And bend your knees as much as you have to touch and release your back. Insofar as you could feel release in the back and your hip flexors, and straighten your legs out and fold. Okay, onto your fingertips, arms straight, halfway up. Turn your right foot to the front edge of your mat. Frame out your right foot at the top of your mat like a lunge. Down dog. Okay, we'll go right knee forward for pigeon. Right knee all the way to the right edge of your mat. Square your hips, come onto your forearms, and allow your hips to sit back and heavy towards the floor. And give it a breath here. You're going to reach your right hand back for your left foot for a thigh stretch. Draw your heel to your hip. Okay, these thigh stretches, if you need to get taller, come up onto your hand to reach. Okay, if you can't quite reach, use a strap or a towel. Okay, if you still can't quite reach, don't leave these in limbo. You want to let it go all the way to the floor. Okay, because your hamstring will cramp if you leave it in limbo. It's no good. Okay, gently release. Step back. Switch sides, left knee wide for pigeon. Square your hips, come onto your forearms. And give it a breath. Hips sit back and down. And come on up. Reach your left hand back for your right foot. For a thigh stretch, you could hold either side of your foot. You actually stretch the seams of your arms a little differently depending on which side you hold. And draw your heel in. Engage your back foot. Tip your hip up towards your heel. Right, gently release. Step back. Down dog. Inhale, plank. Legs straight for low plank. Inhale, Cobra. Pull yourself forward to come up. Exhale, down dog. Okay, right foot forward for low lunge. Lower your back knee super gently. Hands on your right thigh. Okay, pat up the knee if you need. Okay. You're gonna reach your left hand for your left foot for a thigh stretch. Okay, hold the left outer edge of your foot. Okay, step two, hold your left foot with your right hand. Okay, hold the corresponding hand to side of foot, thumbs point down. Draw your heel in, flick your toes against your hand to tip your hip up. As you release this one, lean forward, gently release. Place your hands, step back, switch sides, left foot forward, low lunge. Hands on your left thigh. Okay, and reach your right hand for your right outer edge of foot. Definitely pat up if you need. Okay, then left hand to the big toe side of your foot, hello thigh. And draw your heel to your hip. Lift up through the sides of your body, flick your toes against your hand. Okay, and lean slightly forward to release. Step back, down dog. Okay, and lower both knees down to the mat. For Virasana, knees hips width apart. For Hero's Pose, feet outer hips width apart. Take your hands to the widest part of your calf muscles, bifurcate them, smush them, and push them off to the side. Okay, and sit up on a block or two or three. If the knees get a little creaky here, don't push this one, come out of it. Okay, and if your thighs stay parallel with one another, knees on the floor, you can take your time. Come on to forearms, eventually all the way back. And arms overhead. Soften your chin down, soften your front ribs down like a sit-up. Upper thighs set down. Okay, and come on up to forearms, up onto hands. Stretch it out for down dog. Should feel good to stretch your legs after a deep flexion in your knees. We'll go right foot forward for pyramid. Pyramid pose. Take a short enough stance, both heels are rooted. Square your hips to the front. Fold over your right leg, hands on either side of your right foot to the floor of the blocks. Okay, if you don't have blocks, bend your knee as much as you have to touch. But you're actively stretching your legs as you fold. And step forward and switch sides. Left foot forward, right foot back for pyramid pose. And just make sure your feet are at least inner hips width apart. Both heels are rooted. Square your hips to the front. Fold over your left leg. And step forward and bow. Top of your mat, touch the floor in front of you. Bend your knees enough to touch, feet straight. And bend both knees deeply. Sit down. Line your back. For bridge, bend your knees. Place your feet, ankles underneath your knees, feet hips width apart. Root your feet down to lift your hips up. Lift your low back up. You can either clasp your hands underneath you or arms alongside you, palms spin up. Whichever gives you the most leverage. Set your shoulders underneath you. And gently release. Lower your hips to the floor. Hands against the root of your thighs. Okay, slide your feet as wide as your mat. Arms out like cactus arms. Palms face up. Both knees windshield wiper right. Rest your right foot across your left thigh. And look left. Root your left shoulder down. And the second side, both knees fall to the left. Rest your left foot across your right thigh. Look right, right shoulder roots. And bring it back to center. Happy baby. Bend your knees, hold your shins, and either hold it still or rock and roll, whichever feels better on your back. And rock it on up to sit, please. And stretch your right leg out. Bend your left knee in. Place your left sole of foot to the inside of your right thigh today. Left hand behind you on fingertips. Point your right toe straight up. Right knee straight up. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And exhale, twist, hook your right arm across your left thigh. Sit tall as you inhale and twist. And inhale, come back to center. And second side, left leg out. Right knee in, place your right solar foot to the inside of your left thigh, about 1 fist width away, inner hips width. Your right hand behind you on fingertips. Inhale, reach your left arm up. And exhale, twist. Left arm hooks across your right thigh. And root your right solar foot down. To anchor your right outer hip down, sit tall. Widen your right knee, right. To a twist. Right shoulder back. Lift your chin, look over your right shoulder. Okay, and come on back to center. Stretch both legs out wide. Feet point up, knees point up. Root your legs down. Hands behind you, lift your low back up. And you can bow forward so far as you can keep that alignment. Okay, if you go to come forward, if your knees lift up, if your pelvis tucks under, just stay upright with your hands behind you. And root your legs down as straight as they'll go. Right, quad stretches. A lot of them. Worth aiming towards, okay? If you open up your quads, it'll really help release your low back, okay? If the thighs get really muscular, I know, I've been there. It actually pulls your femur bones forward in their hip sockets and crunches the low back. So that'll help avoid that and clear your low back. Thanks for joining me. I'm Jake. I'll see you next time. Namaste.